Hello everybody. I've had a few people ask me how I actually track my shares and what sort of systems and things I use to keep investing fun and interesting. And while I do use a range of other tools like ShareSite Pro and obviously my stockbrokers platform, and I have dabbled in Tableau and Power BI, I do find Excel a very easily accessible tool that I can quickly open and take a look at and go from there. So it's nice and simple, and I find it too quite visually appealing and easy to adjust and configure as well. So anyway, so what's really important to me and why I started this process was really about the goal of replacing my 9 to 5 salary with a passive income of dividends. And I do have two portfolios. So my other portfolio is quite boring, to be honest. It's really heavily weighted in Australian stocks. I've been investing in it for quite some time, really. And I saw this really as an opportunity to just have a bit of fun and explore some dollar cost averaging and just tick away at things. So it does have a lot, like 69 shareholdings, which is obviously a very large number, but that's kind of part of the fun for me, as I quite like when I own something, I take a bit more interest in it. So I don't mind having a larger portfolio, and obviously there's more costs and so forth. I totally appreciate, but for me, it's the fun and excitement, and that keeps me motivated. So this top left-hand bar chart across here is really tracking the monthly dividends that I actually receive. So this is actual dividends. You can see it's chipping away so far this year. I really started back in March of 2022. So unfortunately, the market has softened quite a bit since then. So I'm down about 17% overall. However, I take very much the long-term view, so I've got no concerns really there. So we'll keep chipping away, keep dollar cost averaging, and exploring and having fun as we go. So I'm not too concerned about that. Very much take the long-term view. So the one of the box here in red is really important number to me, and I find extremely motivating. It's the salary replacement. So how much of my 9 to 5 job does this portfolio actually replace? So currently it's sitting at just under 15%. So obviously we'll chip away and keep working on that. But I find that really motivating every time I buy a new share or do something. Seeing that number slowly increase over time is quite motivating and exciting. So here we have the value, the purchase value, current value, and the estimated yield here is I base it on a 2021 or previous year's dividends that the share paid. So I'll update that again at the end of 2022 for the 2022 dividends. This gives me a guide. I find using forecast yields a little bit fickle sometimes, and some challenges with that. So I much prefer to use the previous calendar year dividend. So setting it at about 5.6, which is something that I do want to slowly increase. And then the actual yield is sitting at 3.4, but that's obviously because we're only partway through the year, and it will take some time for those shares that I purchased earlier in the year to obviously accumulate dividends. And also, I wasn't really investing in January and February either, so but that will keep increasing as we go forward. The bottom section down here has the actual dividends that I've received, so I keep a track of those that I actually do receive, and obviously work through for the next 5 years on here. These bar chart and pie charts here, these three here, I've grouped all of the ETFs and shares into a thematic sector, I guess, for want of a better word, that really covers the main categories. I probably need to add to this as we go forward, but it gives me an idea of, well, how much have I actually invested in index ETFs versus how much have I invested into, say, finance or a dividend-based stock or ETF. The down below here is the region. So this is the region that the stock or ETF is focused on. So quite a few are global based. Australia I'm already very heavy in, so I'm trying to avoid picking up too much more of that. And then obviously USA and so forth. Over here we have the type of ETF or stock, just a comparison. So it's quite interesting. The ETFs have dropped further in percentage terms compared to some of the stock holdings that I have. Over here we have the exchange that the stocks or ETFs are sitting on, and down here we have the currency. So obviously, say for example, I might have an Australian ETF, but it's an American index. So it's purchased in Australian currency, however, it's sitting in the USA region. So that's how I can keep an eye on those two sides of things. Over here, I basically create a bar chart for each of the different sectors that I use on the thematic sectors. Just highlighting each individual share, and I can very quickly just see how much do I have invested in each share. The number at the end there is the last year's dividend yield, so it gives me an idea as to what sort of yield that stock or ETF is receiving, and I can pretty quickly get a handle on, for each category, what shares are performing, what aren't, and what I want to every month when I do purchase more shares and stocks, so shares and ETFs. I can choose which, where do I want to put that money into. So that's pretty much it, really, in a nutshell. Look, I'm happy to do another video on the back end of this, so how it all fits together and how it gets pulled through, because it does actually automatically update using the Excel stocks data type. So it's quite good that it all automatically updates. Quite quick, really. It's quite good. So look, I'm more than happy to run through that in a second video if anyone's interested. If you've got any questions, please feel free to leave comments below. And yeah, I hope everyone has a fantastic week and keep on meowing. Thanks all. Bye.